Yeah, she came up. Yes.
She's real skinny, but muscle that way.
Yeah.
Strong that way. I was telling Salah, hey, your reality here is look like only the whole no muscle, but she's real strong.
Yeah, so a lot of the Samoan families, because they knew that, you know, they wanted their kids to do better. And so they always say, go to school so you can get a better life. And so it was very common for them to find these Palangi families and stuff to take my child, you know, take them, because they knew that that would be, if they could leave Samoa, get a better life, it would help the whole family. So that's how so many of them, you know, just came. I don't know if you guys know the Ohlers, but the Ohlers adopted Lonnie Ohler. She was adopted from Samoa, actually from the same woman, Marina Shafa. She adopted out 5 of her kids. I don't know, Sherry Card, who's the other one? Liane Anai, married Robert Anai. She's one of the sisters. So yeah, it was very common. People think, how can you do that? How can you just adopt your kids out? Well, it's just that, you know, life was hard, and so by doing this, the kids, they end up being successful whether they move to America or New Zealand or Australia, and the common thing is they always send money home, you know, to help their families back there.
So when Dad passed away, so Dad was really big into genealogy, and he wrote several books about. One of them was about Samoa, one was about Hawaii. And when they first went to Samoa, Dad loved children. He always loved like the Samoan children, any child. He just loved children. And so he would always make a big deal about kids, you know, like especially the Polynesian children. He just loved them. And he wrote one of his stories was about that. Not understanding the Samoan culture, you know, the Samoan people are very giving and whatever, and he would always be like, "Oh, your children," and they would take the child, and he had to learn that like you can't say,
you can't compliment,
you can't, because they would be offended, like if you didn't take the child, you know, and it happened to them so many times. I remember as a kid, like, you know, so many places we would go, and we were always like only Palangis around, you know, and he would be talking and playing with the kids, and then he was, oh, she's so beautiful, or oh, he's so cute, and then they would be like, we're leaving, and they're like, oh, okay, here he is, here's his stuff, you know, and he was just like, no, you know, and so many people. He did that to him. He was writing about that. It was a thing that he had to learn. That, I mean, as much as he loved all the children, he couldn't take every child. And,
some people come home with puppies and kittens and kids.
Did it again. You complimented somebody.
Now, when the Sherwood came, they were small kids. You see the picture we were looking. That's the picture when it's young. But they learn the language. They speak fluent Samoa. All the Sherwood's kids.
we didn't know we were white. I remember when I went to college, I was so shocked. I remember calling my mom and telling her like,
I'm white.
I was horrified to her. Because I didn't look like one, I didn't act like one. I was horrified because I didn't react that way. And I just was so out of place because I was very boomer. And I didn't like.
I haven't heard that word in ages.
You know, it horrified me to think that like, ooh, I'm one of those.
And they just keep the recording of when you were talking Samoa. They always play that recording. They were just like.
You guys are speaking
Samoan,
Samoan.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Especially up in Sauniatu, that's like immersion, man.
Well, we understood English because Mom spoke English to us all the time, but as children, we never spoke English to each other, and we didn't speak English to Dad because Dad never spoke English to us. He always spoke Samoan. And then all of our friends and our family, everybody spoke Samoan.
How come my dad
So
didn't
we
do that?
didn't ever speak English at home, you know, and then we came here and most of our friends were Polynesian, so we didn't speak it, you know. And so it was just such a shock. And David and I, we were too little to go to school, so we were running the village.
And all your sons, David, you,
Petra.
oh, David,
Minnie.
Petra,
Minnie.
Minnie, then you, and then Mike.
Well,
Robin.
Mike was born after we came back to the mainland.
Oh, boy.
He is Halangi.
He's more Poly
He
than.
hate his dad for moving.
Not going to the
Mike Abe.
Question was, how come you didn't speak to your kids in Samoan?
You know what? My kids know.
No.
Oh.
Your-
My kids,
your
I
kids
do,
probably
and
know
they
more
know, like,
Samoan
when
than
I'm
you.
upset, because I literally just go and they're like, yeah, yeah, my kids.
Yeah, Dodson went to Samoa. My mom's
Yeah, Dustin, Ursula.
party, her birthday. And we have 2 kids already, yeah?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
So
they were. Anthony was there,
they
right?
understand
Oh,
what
yeah,
we're
and
talking
they came
about,
with
us.
the life
You're not
of
too Falali.
Taking a break.
Well,
Dad
we-
just
we
jumped
actually-
around that question.
Yeah, he
We actually
did.
You
have
couldn't hear it,
brothers
you
who
couldn't
went as
He
missionaries
was
and
little, say
died
they
there.
want to
Oh,
record.
really?
On both dad's side and
Halo
mom's
doesn't
side.
like-
They were buried.
They were at Falali.
Is it Pangaliki, Mike?
The missionary cemetery?
Yeah, yeah. On both mom and dad's side, back in the 1800s or something like that. And that's why their family was so upset when they found out they were going back to Samoa, because their families never came back.
Oh.
They were like,
So that's why you're
every day
tied
they
tied there.
most
You
of the
really got roots
tie
there.
or whatever.
Yeah, good memories. Good,
Yeah.
good life.
I'm sorry to hear about that. You were there.
He was
ready
such a
to go.
funny guy.
Oh, was he? Oh.
he was ready to go after mom passed. He was waiting for, he was doing some genealogy stuff, and he did it for, what was the guy's name, Brother Brown? No, wasn't Simi.
See me
Oh.
No.
Harry?
No.
In Samoa,
Yeah, somebody from Samoa.
Was it
So he was
Davidson?
doing his family history.
Davidson.
Davidson. He was doing his family history, and we found out that we were actually related to Davidsons from Samoa through Dad doing his family history. He had to finish up his family history, and it took him a couple of years because he was waiting for the family history from his mom who passed away.
Wow.
And he got it done not too long before he passed.
That's why I never finished.
yeah, those, both their parents, yeah, I think they deserve that title, the charity, the pure love of God.
Yeah.
Oh.
They,
Saved so many generations
Yeah.
have benefited
there's
from
so
your
many
guys'
people
caring.
that show their love and kindness, and it's just take anybody like their own. That's parents. They really have that quality, the pure love of Christ. So when I speak in Sacramento over here you don't really get that meaning of the charity, the pure love of Christ. But over here, when you do something like you have to pay, so you don't have the pure love, you know.
Yeah.
Over here, you have to pay, show some kind of respect and love for anybody. But over there, they just, and the Lord bless them for all their.
Well, and this is why our parents did it. You
Yeah.
know, was so that they could become good, strong, members of the church, and bless their posterity, and they did. They went on missions. They came to school. They've all done well for themselves.
And now
And
look,
look at that! Look
Yeah.
at you guys! All you guys doing really,
They've-
really well.
four missionaries out.
Mm-hmm.
Four missionaries out right
Four
now.
grand.
So you know, you hear
Grandchildren.
this. They came from a very hard life,
Yeah.
and thank goodness that. And I mean, and it's not just my parents helping them. We were always blessed in return, you know, with them, because they were such good brothers, you know, good sisters to us. We must have been really bratty kids. But yeah, they were always very kind and nice to us. I remember the Katutus lived there too,
Yeah.
and the Enas, and with us.
Tuyala.
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 Yeah, Tuyala.
I think it
Slanaya.
came next after us.
Yeah, their whole family came.
So every time I go back, I go like see if our house still standing because of all the hurricane.
The little mound is still
Yeah.
there where your house was built.
And that house was helpful for all those who come and live there. It's just an open house, but it's big enough. We didn't know why we built that big house because O'Neill and Bowman is gonna be there. But later on, I think
Yeah, 4 guys living in there.
everybody was coming, so the house was just right for them.
And it was a perfect playhouse for us.
Yeah.
So as long as the boys weren't there, we'd go play in it, stuff. As soon as we see them coming, get out of the house. You know, it's just like how you do when you're in the room. Get out of my room. Get out of my room. Just mess up the house. That was our.
Yeah, I remember that house because everybody was benefit from when we come to search for relief from. Because I remember I was walking from in the rain. We never have a bicycle. You walk from that far away to school in the morning and walk home that far. So
How far is that? How far are you?
it's real far from.
Real far.
Real far.
Where? What time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then you come to Tautu and Waisingango and Marufo, and then we finally.
Senator Mota is probably close to maybe about like 8 miles
Yeah.
one way.
So once you moved over there, it's way better.
Oh, it's like freedom.
So who were you living
8
with
miles
in
a
Mota?
day.
Right?
No, 16.
I don't even like driving 8 miles.
Mm.
My mom's family. Yeah. So it's too far, then we find another family in Tautu. Yeah, and we move over there. And then we find Seu's sister. Yeah, Seu's sister married, or Seu's sister married this guy. The guy was doing bread for the oil. So they leave behind the model phone, you know, the guy with all the buses.
Yeah.
So they let us live in their land next to the river. So that's close to Fisher, maybe 3 miles over there. Then the white community find your place at your mom and your place and mother.
What is this place?
Place.
Because I just know the cocoa factory was Tapa Tapa, right?
Several cocoa factories.
His dad. Where did he come before he came to you guys?
So that's living in Mota.
Yeah, what is?
Mota is, you know where the big sports complex is in Apia? Where they hold all the rugby matches on that, so that's in the
The school
Mota
over
area.
toward the other side of the island.
What were you doing over there?
He was living with other relatives.
Yeah.
So he was living there before he moved.
Yeah, when we
to
move
Oh.
from home, we'll find a place close to Apia, so to go to school. So we find a relative. That's how we get started from Mota.
Oh, 'cause I thought Zeu still had you guys in slave labor. See, I thought you were working off sales.
Yeah, that was before
Oh,
that.
the plantation before we
So he
moved
was in
to.
the plantation out at Fale
Yeah, we have big
And then
cocoa
when they
plantation over
they
there.
passed the exam to go to school,
Yeah.
then they went to live with relatives in Mota.
This is primary, elementary.
And what age is it? What-
Was it primary school or high school?
Well,
That when you pass the exam,
high school.
high school, and then from there.
Was this in Pesenga High School?
Yeah, the same as
So
high school.
the plantation is where sale lives.
Yeah.
All that. So we were doing all those taro, banana.
Right, but then you would come in the week, through the week to your place to go to Pesenga, right?
That was, yeah, eventually.
Oh, eventually.
But
Oh.
before that, he was living in Mota.
Yeah.
So he would walk about 8 miles,
So maybe
about 8
freshman
miles to
year,
Pesenga, and then that's when they said they wanted somewhere closer.
Oh, so you guys are
And
even
then
closer.
they came over to our place, lived with us.
And then we finally, the closest one was their parents.
Yeah.
So we live, our house would be like walking from here to Kahuku Hospital. That's how far it was to go to school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like really close.
Big difference.
That's his other house.
Yeah, just down the road.
And Dad, they want to know why you never teach us something.
We never asked.
That's all you had to do.
My kids ask me the same thing.
Only Adrian was the one that's really interested in the sun more than the Polynesian. So that's why she doesn't go to the mainland. She like, you know, the ocean
Local
and
boy.
yeah.
My kids say, "Why you never taught us Samoan?" I go, "I did. You know what Sasa is? You know what Maele is? Well, what else?" And I says, "I tried. We'd have family home meeting. Remember, at the end of family home meeting, we'd always do language lessons. You guys always go,
Oh, yeah, probably that.
you know." And I said, "My mistake was that I didn't pursue. You know,
Yeah.
they just like, oh, you want to learn that." And then when they got older, it's like, "How come you didn't teach us? How do you didn't want to learn?"
It's hard.
Oh, it's Sterling. Yeah.
It's impatient. Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
Sterling went on his mission there. But my daughter is really good at picking up. You know, we went to a family reunion in Samoa one time. We went to Sala'i first to just unwind. And she was trying to speak Samoan to everyone. She was cracking me up on that. I go, "But that's good, Kenner. At least you're trying, you know. And we can figure out what you're saying, so just keep doing it and you'll get it." So even now she'll bust out and text me something in Samoan and I go, "Oi, oi, oi."
Robin, do you still have your someone or you lost it?
I do. I like if I think about it, it's
You have to use it all the time, otherwise.
yeah. I mean,
Probably can still understand. really
Probably
well.
understand.